The Giants fired defensive coordinator Shane Bowen after a disastrous overtime loss to the Lions, even though Jameis Winston gave him some spark early in this one.
Of course, he's Jameis. I mean,
Yeah.
I honestly think Big Cat's idea of making it mandatory that someone has to have Jameis Winston, their starting quarterback, every week of the season should be mandated.
Also,
He brings so
amazing celebrations always. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's great.
Love the receiving touchdown. Love Jahmyr Gibbs.
We're going to talk about him a bunch. There might be no single better skill position player in the NFL than Jahmyr Gibbs. The debate is there, and we've had a lot of love for JSN and the rest, but oh my gosh, yesterday.
49-yard score there, and Winston looking for Theo Johnson, but it's incomplete here, and Detroit takes over.
And because of the situation, you're the Giants, you're trying to basically, hey, the game is over, go score. You give Detroit enough time, and Jake Bates comes in and hits an absolute nuke.
This is nuts.
Wild kick.
Right?
It looked like it was going out of bounds.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to miss the kick, and then it goes in. That's a former UFL player right there.
Man, 59-yarder. All right, so here we go. Overtime, Gibbs takes the handoff and outruns the defense.
Motion your receivers down to help in the run game. It creates explosive runs. Shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. But that young man is an absolute walking touchdown.
69-yard score. Last chance for the Giants. Winston is taken down by Aiden Hutchinson.
And a huge play. He is the closer there. Big, big win for the Lions, considering who they have up ahead.
Yeah, Lions come back for that win. And with the loss, the Giants fell to 2-5 when leading by double digits this season. I mentioned firing the defensive coordinator. That is why, tied for the most losses when leading by 10 or more points in a single season in NFL history. And those leads coming late in games. And we just saw that huge overtime run by Gibbs. Just how critical is he, Peter?
He's just so special. He's so special. And if you're worried about Jared Goff outdoors in the playoffs, or you're worried that this team, who's calling the plays, like he's the ultimate neutralizer, and he makes everything right. Yesterday, 264 yards from scrimmage, 3 touchdowns. He's third in the NFL in rushing yards. He's fourth among running backs in scrimmage yards. He averages 6.1 yards per rush. Guys, he averages 7.9 yards per reception. He's so special. They just have to find a way to get him in space, and good things happen. They're going up against a defense that Jeff Hafley is calling, which is Micah Parsons and Rashawn Garrett. Thanksgiving Day, I am fascinated to see how they get him out and open in space, because he is so, so good for this Detroit Lions team.
Can't wait for that game, Mina.
Yeah, one thing they can try to do is keep him in the block, because I think that's his only weakness, and we've seen good defenses take advantage of that. I mean, Gibbs, I don't know if there's a player in the NFL who makes second and third level defenders look silly the way he does. Some of that is assisted by the Lions skill players blocking. You'll see that on all their explosives. But just his vision, elusiveness, the way he sets up defenders, and then the acceleration after his cuts, it's just unbelievable, quite frankly. And I would argue integral, because the Lions needed every single one of those yards on a day where the interior of the offensive line was struggling in pass protection. You could also attribute some of their success with play action, and really it was necessary again in this game, because it was the only time it felt like Jared Goff was fully comfortable, to the amount of attention paid to Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield. He is the focal point of the offense, and he's a necessary one, because there are some cracks in that passing game.
Not worried about Goff outside playoff time. Okay, I'm worried about the offensive line, the interior offensive line. I think it's a bottom 5 offensive line pass protecting right now. I'm also worried about no Sam Laporta. But yesterday, I do have to give credit to the end of half, end of game situation, and the different ways that were necessary for them to play to go win the game. You go to the end of the half, you need a chunk here. There's only 23 seconds. Jared sees that the safety at the bottom of the screen hangs, and the one at the top drifts down. Go the seam route, bend him away from that nickel defender. Okay, this is beautiful. Good pocket, one of the few that he had yesterday. Great. So that gets you 3. Go to the end of the game. This is just good veteran quarterback play. You want to drop out? This is the space you're talking about, Peter. Here's the difference. Saquon had that same throw yesterday. Couldn't get it done. Jahmyr Gibbs got it done. Amon-Ra, just run your choice route. Sees the defender, widen, sit, ball out, go get a conversion. They ran this simple concept 4 straight snaps yesterday to go march right down the field. Amon-Ra saw it the same way every time that Jared Goff did. It gets him in the field goal range.
Giants never tried to jump the route?
No. But here's the thing. Easy for me to sit here and say jump the route. When you give a smart player like that the 3-way go, he's going to be right. Amon-Ra is one of those guys that he will figure out what you're doing and be right. wasn't a pretty win. I still think it's an important win at home to keep himself in the race.
It is, and their 14th straight win following a loss, which says a lot.
But that offensive line is a problem.
Yes.
It will hurt them this year.
You said that last week, too. All right. Meanwhile, man, he put a hurting on who last night? That was the Rams on the Bucs. Under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. A 3rd and 18 at the 34. Stafford to Puka Nacua.
We call that ROA, routes on air. It's just easy. And then Devontae, this is one of the stories of the NFL season. Devontae Adams down inside the 5-yard line. You can't cover him.
Great to see him smiling. Stafford finding Colby Parkinson over the middle. Finds Colby for the touchdown.
The 3 tight ends have all been so big as well. We love talking about Adams and the running backs, but gosh, that 3 tight end group they have are excellent.
And then Mayfield to Tez Johnson.
I thought the Bucs were going to make a run, but what you start to see is, you start to see the pain for Baker Mayfield show itself even more.
Yeah, it goes into the tent. Meanwhile, it's Stafford connecting again
into the
with
tunnel.
Adams. Come on.
Bo Jackson.
Like a butterfly with short.
There you go. And Mayfield, he tried, right? Tried to put this one downfield, picked off by Emmanuel Forbes.
Yeah, and you hate to see him get injured on this play here, throwing a Hail Mary at the end of a half in a 24-point game. Emmanuel Forbes, RC hit it earlier, has been an amazing reclamation project out in LA.
Yeah, right. Former first-round pick
No doubt.
by the Commanders, right? And ended up there, and well done. Swagoo, we know that Stafford deservedly gets all the attention after another MVP performance. How about that defense? That's going to be an issue down the stretch. What do you like?
If you suck, go play for Sean McVay. That's the answer to the question.
Yeah.
Listen, man, let me go to the other side. I know Stafford, and obviously Devontae has got a lot of attention with this offense, which I think is phenomenal. But defensively, I think this young defensive line, I've said this before, I think when you get into playoffs, they can close games by themselves. And you look at the games and the stunts that they run. Not that they need them, RC, because they beating people ass one-on-one straight ahead. But the fact that they've implemented this into the game, Landman, Fish, you think about Brand, Jared Verse, Kobe Turner, who returned. I was scared about his bicep injury potentially earlier this year. This team is playoff ready. And if you think about in the recent years, the teams that we've seen have a tremendous amount of success in the playoffs, the Rams probably are as close to that formula as everybody in the NFL. When you start talking about putting points on the board like Matthew Stafford is and pressuring offenses to have to put points in both, and now they can let this defense go and play the way that they've been playing, I think that formula and that mixture with these two units make them Super Bowl contenders.
2 weekends ago, we had the biggest week in the NFC. We had